push those blocks aside for our meditation today, our journey to the heart. And you can cover yourself with a blanket if you want, but just letting yourself come down. The back is all the way up to the bolster, and then laying down. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a nice pillow off the couch. And you can just let the legs be bent or lengthen them out for our meditation today. We'll also work through some pranayama breath. I'm going to take you first through our meditation. And today is January 30th, so this is the third class. And thank you, Diana, for being here. It's so lovely to chat with you every week. So take a moment here to settle in. You can even take your right hand to belly, left hand to your heart, your yogi heart. Just tapping into your natural breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And again, this week, we're focusing on our breath, body, and heart. So we start our practice with our breath and meditation. Move into some movement with our yoga asana. And we end the practice with our heart openers, opening our hearts, listening to the whispers of the heart. I'm at home now in Sycamore, so I've got a fire going in the background. Maybe you can hear the crackle and pops. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in through the nose. And breathing out through the mouth. Come back to your natural breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And you can slightly lengthen the breath as you breathe in and lengthen the breath as you breathe out. And as you rest here in your meditation, I'm going to read to you the meditation by Melody Beattie from Journey to the Heart. And today is actually from January 24th. And it says, stay in the present moment. Stay in the present moment. That's where you'll find your life's magic. How overwhelmed we feel when we anticipate the future, all that it needs doing, all the tasks, the work, the potential problems, and responsibilities. How tired we become when we dwell on what we're doing already, the energy we've expended, and the imperfect results. Yes, sometimes to stay in the present, we need to visit the past, to clear out the old feeling, to heal the old limiting belief. But that visit can be brief. And sometimes we need to think about the future, to make commitments, to plan, to envision where we want to go. But to linger there can cause unrest. It can spoil the moment we're in now. Stay in the present moment. And the past and the future will fall naturally and easily into place. Stay in the present moment, and magic will return. So we honor this practice today by staying in this present moment. We'll come through the heart meditation. So taking time to honor yourself, honor and connect to your heart. And this begins with kindness and harmony. And this is towards yourself and any of your surroundings. Notice your own natural breath. As you breathe in through the nose, down the throat. And this comes down to your gentle heart. And as you're exhaling, it comes out through the nose, warm breath. The belly rises and falls. The ribs expand and soften. The heart dips down towards the earth and then floats upon your breath. When we take this time for our heart meditation, we can tap into our own heartbeat. And Sarah Blondin said it's similar to a heartbeat we used to know, our mother's heartbeat. A place where we felt safe and secure. In the security of our mother's heart in her womb. And we have the same security with our own hearts. We embrace our own rhythm of our own heart that connects us to our own rhythmic breath. We come to the letter E of the word heart, which is embrace. In the journey to the heart, we spoke about staying in the present moment, allowing that magic to begin again. Just notice how you can embrace yourself today. And as we do this practice together, can you connect to the moment of breath? And then simply ask your heart, how do you feel today? How am I feeling today? Maybe we visit those old limiting beliefs, but as the meditation says, we don't stay there. We make that moment brief. With any answers that come up with that question you asked, just embrace it, any emotions or feelings. You come from the thinking mind to breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Moving to the word of awareness. We know that accepting things that no longer serve us is awareness. But just becoming aware of this moment, aware of what you're doing here. My yoga teacher, Karuna, would always say to me that my mind would go to automatically worrying, and in details will follow. And I became aware of how I do this. And I work quite hard not to let that worrying mind start. As we begin our self-care and self-love, the world around you will respond lovingly. So take a moment here to allow that awareness come to the mind. Let it rest. And feel into where you are right now. So notice the air coming in through the nose again, down the throat, into the heart. And maybe feeling that you're exhaling out through the heart. And coming to the letter R of the word heart for reflection. In one of our past meditations of Journey to the Heart, Melody Beattie said, the world around you reflects how you feel about yourself. As we take in that reflection, and maybe we visit the past to clear out those old feelings or heal the old. We again just take a brief moment to go there and then come back to the heart and the breath. We are made up of volumes of memories that create our present, and we'll make new memories for the future. So reflecting on any memories that bring you comfort right now. Maybe it's a loved one that's here, or maybe a loved one in the spirit world who tends to visit you during meditation or while you're dreaming. Just reflection of who you are in this moment. As we come to the letter T, we just bring this moment to think of thoughts, and these thoughts are of gratitude. We know that in countries where they practice gratitude, people seem to have more happiness, more joy. And knowing that our thoughts are not who we are, but just sometimes the mind going on a little adventure. And we can bring the mind back by saying just these simple words during practice. I'm thinking, but now I'm breathing. Now I'm breathing. If your hands are still resting on your heart and belly, just bring them down to your sides. Reconnecting with your breath as it comes through the nostrils, down the throat, to the heart. And then releasing through the nose or the mouth. Lengthening the breath for a count of 4 or 5. And exhaling for a count of 4 or 5. Now just set my timer for 2 minutes. as we sit in silence or you rest in heart bed pose in silence. Come back to your breath now. And allow that thinking mind to rest. And just a final little saying from our reading in the past meditations. Our hearts hold the hope that growth can be gained through love and kindness. The more we honor and trust it, the more it guides us. So from here, you're going to remove your bolster. You can leave a blanket underneath your head. Come down to laying on your back into constructive rest pose. And you can bring your blocks if you wish to use these as we come into butterfly, recline butterfly. But for now, just taking the hands to the belly. Breathing in and breathing out. And notice the feet, how the feet are planted on the earth. Notice how each toe rests on your mat. All the way to the heel, feel the whole heel resting on the mat. And now see if you can press in the big toe mound area. And then the pinky side of the heel. And you're going to feel a lift through the arch of the feet. And you're also going to feel an engagement of the thighs. Your thumb is resting on the lower ribs and the pinky finger is resting on the hip flexor, so the front of the hip. And just notice how the hands rise and fall with your own breath. Good, now draw the knees into the chest. You can bring them a bit wider here. We're gonna flex the toes, widen the toes, and then crunch the toes. Open the toes wide and then scrunch the toes. Just activating the feet here. Now make some hip circles, so drawing the knees away from each other and then drawing them back to the center. So making hip circles, just awakening up those hips gently. Your hands are resting on the knees as you draw the knees away from each other and then in towards each other. And let's go the other direction. Bring the feet down to the earth now. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees wide, and you can use your blocks here to rest in supine butterfly pose. You can bring the arms into goalie arms if that's there for your shoulders, sometimes known as cactus arms. If you find that it's hard for the arms to go down to the earth, you can place your bolster behind you or a pillow. And then you can just rest your arms on the bolster, so you're not having to go as far down to the earth. So my puppy Izzy is in the house today. Sorry for the barking. She's a doodle, so she loves to bark at people walking by. Last week you got to listen to Mexico sounds of chickens and donkeys and cars going by. Today it's just Izzy. And remembering in our yin practice, what we do, the principles of yin. So we come into the shape. And we come to that edge of our yin practice. So if you're feeling like you need more of a restorative practice, using props like I am today. So I'm not really going to my edge. I'm finding a moment today to rest. If I wanted to come to an edge, I would remove the blocks and remove the bolster. And then we stay for a length of time, anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. And today's class, we will be doing 4 minutes per pose. And this is due to it being a more gentler practice today. And the other principle is coming to stillness. So allowing the body to feel into the pose. And coming to stillness, getting into those connective tissues, the fascia, the joints. So unlike the hatha practice, we are just staying here to allow ourselves to deepen into the pose. So you can take the hands down now, let the arms come wide, palms face up towards the sky. If you want to try removing the blocks to come deeper, you can do so. And let's connect our breath and body together here. We're going to inhale, gather the hand into a fist, tucking the thumb inside the fist. The back of the hand remains on the floor. And as you exhale, you open the palm up nice and wide and stretch the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, gathering into a gentle fist. Exhale, opening palm wide, fingers wide. Let's do 3 more breaths here on our own with our hands and breath connection. And bring the hands back to the belly. We're going to draw the feet away from us into more of a diamond pose. And we have 30 more seconds here. Draw the knees in, draw them into the belly. And we're going to extend the left leg out. Draw the right knee into the belly. Activate the feet here, coming into, this is called wind releasing pose, or in yin, we call it baby dragon. So you're going to feel a slight pinch into the right hip flexor. You can even draw that knee more out to the right shoulder or the right armpit. And if this is too hard, keeping the left leg lengthened out, you can bend the knee and rest the foot on the earth. Allow the both feet to relax now. We've got 2 more minutes here in our baby dragon pose. And I'm applying a little bit of weight into my knee. Just pressing it and pulling it down towards the earth. In this final minute here, if you wish to come into half happy baby, you're going to clasp onto the outside of your right foot or the ankle and draw that foot up towards the sky. And you're drawing that knee nice and wide towards the earth. And I do find here it is helpful to have the knee bent. You can take that left hand down on top of the left hip flexor to keep the body reminding that left hip to stay down. We don't want to crunch over to the side. We want to stay nice and even through the back pelvis. Good, releasing that knee and bringing the foot back down to the earth. Let's stretch out here into celestial star pose. Arms and legs come wider than the mat. Just take a notice to notice the resonance of this pose. You're going to feel this right hip feels more lower and the right leg will feel longer. So this left hip will feel higher, right hip will feel lower. So taking moments of rest is another principle of yin yoga. We're tapping into calming the nervous system. Bringing in moments of mindfulness. And this is a good time also to bring in your intention. What is your intention for this practice today? Is it an intention to stay in the present moment, like our reading? Is it to focus on breath and relax? Whatever your intention is, just saying it silently to yourself 3 times. And then draw those arms up with an inhale. And exhale, bring the hands down to prayer to your heart. We seal this intention into the heart by taking left palm to the heart and right hand over top. Good. From here, we're going to bend both legs. I like to press up here into a baby bridge. So inhaling up and exhale. Good. Press those hips a little higher. Breathing here. Good. 3 more breaths in our bridge. Remembering to keep the head from turning from side to side. The chin comes slightly towards the heart. Nice big inhale, lift a little higher. And exhale, roll the spine back down to the mat. Good. Stretch out the right leg. Draw the left knee in this time. Again, we're going to keep both feet active, so you're drawing your toes back towards you. The heel reaches away. And we're clasping on top of the knee, bringing it in, bringing a little bit of strength into the arms to bring that little bit of a pinch into the hip flexor. Nice long breaths here. Nice deep inhales and long relaxed exhales. Deep inhale, and as you let out a sigh, allow the feet to relax. So inhaling and letting yourself have a big sigh. So again, we're keeping these postures, these shapes of yoga for 2 to 4 minutes. So we'll do 2 minutes here in our baby dragon pose. We'll come to stillness, quiet. And knowing that even though sometimes you feel like you're doing nothing in this pose, you're doing a lot. Remember that you're doing so much in this pose. It's so good for you. So good for your body, your heart, your nervous system. And let the quietness just surround you. I have a picture in my kitchen that says, "Quiet is good for the soul." Good. We're going to be here for 1 more minute in baby dragon. So at any time, if you're feeling this is too much, you can just release, just give that a little rub and then come back in to the posture. If you're ready to go into half happy baby, you can do so. This is drawing that knee nice and wide, clasping onto the ankle or the outer edge of that left foot. Heel reaches towards the sky. And again, you can bend this right knee. I want to focus on dropping the tailbone down, and I don't want to sink to the side. I want to keep a nice evenness through the back pubic area and the back spine, the lumbar spine. half happy baby. Sometimes I find this more beneficial than the full happy baby because I'm allowing the body to stay even. My sacrum is planted on the earth. I can take that right hand to the top of the right hip flexor to remind my right hip to stay down. And the goal here is to draw the right knee down towards the earth. Knowing the option to stay in baby dragon is always there for you. Big inhale here. And exhale, draw that knee back in towards the body. Drop that left heel down on the mat. Extend out into our celestial pose. Take both hands to the top of the hip flexor now. Notice how they can feel more even. We're going to stay here for 5 more breaths in our celestial pose. Coming back to remind ourselves of our intention. Good, 3 more breaths. Good, draw the feet up, coming into constructive rest pose. You could turn to your right or left side. Just staying here for a moment. And then coming all the way up to seated. Take a moment here just to let the body come up and let the body settle. So let's just take a moment here to bring right ear to right shoulder. So again, you can't sit cross-legged. You can extend your legs out in front of you. You can sit on a blanket. Sometimes that's nice. It allows the pelvis to drop forward more. Actually, everyone, let's extend our feet out into Dandasana. And just take a moment to breathe. Draw those heels away and the toes towards you. Close the eyes. Sorry, my puppy is barking. Izzy. Allow the feet to relax. We're going to hinge forward here. So taking a moment to really come forward. So imagine I'm coming through the screen. I'm going to grab your hands and then pull you forward. So we're not going to scrunch down. We're going to really hinge from the hips and come forward. And then rest the hands where they need to go. I like to use blocks and rest my hands on the blocks. And then my chin can come forward. So you're going to feel a nice stretch into the hamstring. If you got cranky knees, you can place something under your knee. I have a Pilates ball. Sometimes I place that under my knee. I take more air out of it. Or just do a blanket. And we're allowing ourselves to release the feet here. So this is caterpillar pose in yin. You can even bring the arms up. Especially if you're having any shoulders pain. So let's start my timer. Breathe deeply here. Settle into caterpillar. Feel that nice stretch to the back of the legs. Allow the feet to relax, but we're not pointing the toes away. We're just allowing the feet to relax. So if you're pointing, tap the feet together. I know my feet tend to want to point. At any time, if you feel you can go deeper, you can go deeper, but this is a very nice static forward fold. So anyone who's got any kind of lower back, SI joint pain, anything like that, don't pull yourself into a deep forward fold. You want a static forward fold. So meaning like what I'm doing here. I'm not going to grab my feet and yank myself forward. I can because I have that flexibility. But if you're dealing with a lower back, you're going to come here and be super, super gentle. You're still going to get so much out of this pose. Your chin can come towards the heart. Got 2 more minutes here, a total of 4 minutes. Again, if you feel like you need to come up and just press your palms into the block, take a nice big inhale. And exhale, lower. You can inhale back up again if you wish. And lower. And then sink back into the pose. And think of those beautiful little caterpillars that come out in the springtime. They're so fluffy. Some are striped, some are just one color. And I love to see the fascination in my grandchildren's eyes when they pick up these tiny little creatures. And then knowing they can release them somewhere safe where they'll be able to have nice green leaves. Breathing in and breathing out. Thinking deeper if that's here for you. And remembering therapeutic yoga is a 60, maybe a 50 to 60% effort level, not 110%. 30 more seconds. You're going to take your hands on top of the blocks. Press down, inhale up. Exhale, bending the arms, lower down. Breathing in, up. Exhale, lower. Good, inhale up. Let's make our way over onto our hands and knees into our tabletop for cat-cows. So again, if you're dealing with cranky knees, you can place a blanket underneath the knees. We're going to stack those joints again, stacking the knees under hips and the shoulders and elbows and wrists. I like to take the inner elbow and draw it towards each other. Good. From here, you're going to inhale, tailbone rises. You gaze up towards the sky, and as you exhale, you round. The pubic bone comes towards the heart, and you look towards the heart. Inhale, arching, and exhale, rounding. So a nice transition here of a simple vinyasa. So vinyasa meaning movement. Take some time to make some circles here if you wish. One way and the other way. Rocking back and forth. And let's take ourselves down into our melting heart pose. You're going to extend the hands as wide as the mat. The forehead comes down. Traditionally, this is done with the chin on the mat, but it's too painful for myself to do this. And I think it's really hard on the neck. So we're placing the forehead down on the neck and we're keeping the arms active here. Fingers are nice and wide. So knowing that if this is too far down for your forehead, take that block. Place the block underneath the forehead. And you're going to really activate the Ajna chakra here. So this chakra represents wisdom, your thoughts. You may have to play around with it a little bit. I find if I bring my forehead to the edge and allowing my nose to have room, that is a lot easier. And then if you're feeling like this is way too much, drop those elbows down. Now that we are in this pose, let's take a moment to stay here for some time. I'm going to drop the elbows down. I'm going to let my block come out of the way and let my forehead come down, scooching those knees a little bit away so I'm having a nice melting heart down towards the earth. Nice curve of the lower spine. Breathe deeply here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Five more breaths here. In melting heart. Good. Come up to hands and knees pose. We're going to come into a shoulder release. So we call this thread the needle. Let's inhale the right arm up and bring it back down again. Extend the left arm up and bring it down. This time as you bring that right arm up, you're going to bring it underneath the body. The right ear comes down. You can rest this arm on the mat. The right hand palm faces up towards the sky. And notice that you're not really drawing over to the right. You want to even the hips out. And then you can bring that left palm to face up towards the sky if you wish. Nice shoulder release here. Again, if you need support underneath the head, you can place the block underneath the head. No, try not to dip into the right side. Bring some weight into that left knee. Good. Take a big deep inhale. Bring that left palm down if it's not already. You're going to press through that left palm. Inhale that arm up. And we're going to come to the other side. So inhale, left palm up. Bring it underneath the body. Left shoulder comes down, left ear. And you can leave this right arm resting. Again, notice if you're really dipping to the left, bring some weight into the right. And then bring that right palm up towards the sky if that's there for you. The shoulder's a little bit touchy for me and tender, so I'm going to leave my right palm to support my body so I can adjust how much weight I want into the left shoulder. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders, breathing deeply here. Five more breaths here in your thread the needle. With a nice long inhale, slow, relaxed exhale. As they say in Mexico, inhalo suave and exhalo suave. Inhale smooth, exhale smooth. Good, last breath. Good, press down to that right palm. Really pressing down, draw yourself up. Bring that arm all the way up, back to hands and knees pose. And we're gonna come over onto our sit bones. Another shoulder stretch for you guys today. So bring the hands behind, right behind the buttocks, and then scooch the bum away from you. And you're gonna feel this stretch. So let's place, sorry, you're supposed to place the hands away from you. So I'll do that again. So instead of the hands being this way, I'm gonna place them so fingers point away. And then drawing the sit bones away and feeling into that stretch, and then allow the head to come up. So drawing the chin up towards the sky. We're going to take 5 breaths here before we come into our heart bed pose or supported fish pose. And then draw the chin down towards the heart. See how that feels in the neck. You're getting a beautiful stretch into the neck. Good, and then press down through those feet again and bring the buttocks back towards you. Bring the arms into a nice big hug. And we'll come into our supported fish pose. So another option for supported fish is using a Pilates ball. So I just wanted to show you guys that. If you have one for next class, great. If not, we're going to use the blocks. So the blocks, again, we're putting in a T. Coming down on to the blocks. So gently letting yourself come down. So maybe even engaging those abdominal muscles lower down to the elbows. And again, if you bring your hand behind, you should be able to touch the block in between the shoulder blades. And then bringing the head down onto the block that's resting behind you. Arms come nice and wide. Letting that heart shine towards the snowy, or I guess it's not snowy, but the clouds that have kind of socked in around us today. And let your breath relax here. Come a little bit more quieter through the breath. You can cover yourself with a blanket. If you have an eye pillow, this is a nice time to come into an eye pillow. Allow the palms to face up towards the sky, the fingers gently curling in. And always option to come into medium fish pose where you put the block up on the next level. But I'm finding my body's asking me to be super gentle today. I'm just staying here with my breath in this present moment. So as we come to the halfway point, I invite you to try different posture with the legs. You can bring the knees so they're bent. You can bring the soles of the feet together so you are in reclined butterfly. So noticing how maybe you feel more open from when you first tried butterfly at the beginning of our practice. Also that option to come into a little bit higher fish pose. Or maybe you don't want this at all. Maybe you want to remove the blocks and just come into butterfly pose. Your choice. This is your practice. Good. 5 more breaths here. Good. After that 5th breath, roll to your one side. Remove the blocks. Back into constructive rest pose. You can place a little pillow or a blanket under your head. Let's take those hands again down to the rib so the thumb touches the bottom rib. Pinky finger on the top of the hip flexor. Let's do 10 breaths here. Nice deep inhales, long relaxed exhales. Maybe even practicing Ujjayi breath, otherwise known as dark Vader breath, where you hear the breath being compressed in the throat. And lengthen the legs out in front of you, coming into your final posture of Shavasana. Deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And back to your natural breath. Relax the forehead and the jaw. The heart resting on the earth. Belly is soft. Hips are released. Relax the knees, the ankles. Just notice how the front body can completely release and be supported into the back body. You rest there just for a little bit longer in Shavasana. I'm going to read a poem to you from my teacher Karuna's book by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're crowds of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So taking time to slowly awaken here. Feel yourself coming back from this spaciousness of Shavasana. Just feel how your breath rocks and cradles you as you rest in this tenderness and feel supported. And slowly, with tenderness, you can begin to move, coming back to this present moment, rolling to your right side. You can slowly open your eyes and then close them. And then meet me in seated, meeting yourself with kindness and compassion in this moment. Nice tall spine, sit bones rooted down to the earth. We'll end our practice today with one single Om. Inhaling and Oming together. Inhale. Om. Drop chin towards heart. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Thank you so much for coming to online Winter Yin. Much love from my heart to your heart. Namaste. So thank you for coming to class today. If you're watching this as a recording, please send me any feedback you have. And Diana, thank you for coming today. We went a little bit over, so I'm going to leave you here and I will follow up with you with an email, see how you're going, but have a wonderful day. Namaste.